Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Group 11's presentation. The company that we have chosen to complete our analysis on is one that is quite popular in the news right now, which is Pfizer. Before we go into too many details about what they do for business today, I'll give some brief history about how Pfizer first started. Starting with the fact that Pfizer was started by Charles Pfizer and Charles Earnhardt in Brooklyn, New York, and in 1849 their first ever product was up for sale was an antiparasitic to treat a common stomach bug. This is quite the common difference from other biopharmaceutical companies that got their start from things like aspirin. Today, Pfizer is responsible for research and development of over 350 pharmaceuticals that are made by Pfizer and sold worldwide, as well as research some of the Earth's most feared diseases and sicknesses that are around the globe. They first went public in 1942 on the New York Stock Exchange and have been going strong ever since. Today, they have a market volume of 5.58 billion shares and can be purchased for $35 USD. Pfizer, in partnership with BioNTech, helped create the first vaccine for emergency use and is also a popular option for anyone that is able to receive the vaccine in available countries. Pfizer has also committed $40 million through their Pfizer Foundation to help countries that are less fortunate for the opportunity to protect their population.
Now for a brief analysis of Pfizer, beginning with subsystems and systems. So currently, Pfizer operates under an open system, which means they rely heavily on their external environment. They also have many subsystems to help manage their raw materials, their people, as well as the company as a whole. They also have boundary spanning to help link Pfizer to its external environment. As for their structural dimensions, as a pharmaceutical company, there has to be a high level of professionalism, specialization, and formalization. Pfizer is currently very centralized with a vertical structure. However, in recent years, they've been attempting to shift to a more decentralized horizontal structure, providing their employees with opportunities to innovate as well as more flexibility. Now for session 2, which was strategic framework. So Pfizer's current mission statement is to become the world's most valued company, and they constantly strive for innovation to help make the world a healthier place. Currently, their goal is for patients to receive uninterrupted access to their medicine and vaccines, and they are putting a lot of their current efforts towards the battle of COVID-19 and the distribution and production of their vaccine. The strategies that they use to help achieve these goals under Porter's framework would be classified as cost leadership, and under the Miles and Snow framework, it would be classified as a prospector.
Session 3 talks about the organizational structure. The first diagram is clearly illustrates the Pfizer's organization structure, which is division. So looking down to the second level of this picture, it shows the 5 division structures. HQ is the head office, as we can see at the top of this picture. Supervises the various departments to align their activities to keep some cooperative strategy. Each department is independent, even it has a different structure. For the global matrix structure, the figure 2 clearly shows that Pfizer has a matrix structure by the yellow dot on the diagram. Although those yellow dots do not represent the specific intersection between division and region, the connection approaches are still existing. Second is session 4. Discuss the environmental uncertainties and how to solve the uncertainties problems. So Pfizer has various external environments, such as political, economic, and technical problems. So although there are lots of factors will influence the development of Pfizer, they are still less changeable because they are pharmaceutical companies. For how to solve the uncertainties, we can using the positions and department strategy to set an e-commerce division to solve the growing complexity of computerized information and knowledge management systems.
Next, our company analyzed session 6, which is all about company culture. The culture at Pfizer is very strong. They work hard to align their company values with the overall organizational strategy. Their main focus is on internal integration. Pfizer does this through what's called Own It Day, where once a year the company comes together in one event to take individual strengths and put those together to work more effectively as a company. In regards to their overall culture, it seems to align mostly with clan culture, as Pfizer works hard to help employees find their own successes. Pfizer also has a strong set of ethical values that the company must follow. They believe this is in the best interest of their stakeholders. This includes a code of conduct as well as an ethics committee. Building strong ethical values helps reinforce the company's culture as it promotes positivity and trust within the company. The next session we analyzed was Lecture 10, all about change and innovation. Innovation and change is very important for any company as it allows you to stay relevant and increases your competitive advantage. Pfizer went through a lot of change in the past few years, where they totally rebranded their company. This showcased dual core change, where they made both admin changes, where they created an entirely new executive team, as well as technical core changes, where they expanded product lines and increased research in rare diseases. They also made some incremental changes, where they made adaptations to existing product lines that went through a step-by-step process. Pfizer had also made some radical changes where they created entirely new products with new technologies. An example of this is when they created the COVID-19 vaccine using the new technology messenger RNA. The reason Pfizer's changes were so successful is because they have such strong specialization. They have experts in research, pharmacology, marketing, etc. Pfizer is definitely not a company afraid of change. This element on its own is a significant driver in the success of the company.
So now we'll move on to the challenges and recommendations section. So challenge number 1, the development of the COVID-19 vaccine. On average, over the last decade, a vaccine has taken 8 years to reach the public. However, Pfizer has managed to develop their vaccine in just under a year. Being developed in 7 years less than the average time, the short development of this vaccine possesses many challenges. According to a recent national survey conducted by EnlivenHealth, 67% of pharmacies and 99% of health plans are either somewhat concerned or very concerned about people's willingness to get the vaccine once it becomes available. The high degree of concern can be attributed to the side effects that may or may not have been discovered yet. Side effects could range from anything as mild to a sore arm to something as serious as a harmful immune response. There may be also a 1 in a million chance of a side effect that may be only discovered after a vaccine is released to the public. Even though there are more potential side effects with Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, they need to keep it in the market for the better good of society. Our team suggests that Pfizer must monitor all patients who receive their vaccine and look for any major side effects. This means Pfizer must work with the FDA so they can monitor any issues with the vaccine. The FDA will then decide whether to modify or remove the vaccines from the market after they've been released. Challenge 2, storing the vaccine. So the next challenge Pfizer faces is storing the COVID-19 vaccine in a proper storage unit. Pfizer's vaccine needs to be kept at sub-zero temperatures, which some medical facilities can't afford. The challenges of storing Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine include developing countries who can't afford proper storage units and transportation vehicles who don't have the required temperatures for storing the vaccine. The World Health Organization reports that over 50% of vaccines are wasted worldwide. This is due to healthcare providers in poor areas who lack the resources to support these cold chain requirements. The risk of exposing the vaccines at a higher temperature will result in the vaccine being unable to use. This will be inefficient because Pfizer's vaccine could be used for other countries that can't support the sub-zero temperatures. Our team has a couple of recommendations for Pfizer that will allow their vaccine to reach more countries. Our team suggests that Pfizer forms a partnership with a company that can provide temperature-controlled thermal shippers. This will allow Pfizer's vaccine to reach countries that can't afford the proper resources to support these cold chain requirements. Not only will the vaccine reach more countries, less vaccines will be wasted due to proper shipping conditions. Next, our team suggests Pfizer to redesign or develop a new COVID-19 vaccine that will be more temperature friendly so it can target countries who can't afford the below zero storage facilities. Other companies who have created a vaccine to prevent COVID-19, such as Moderna and Oxford AstraZeneca, can be kept at room temperature in a home refrigerator. Pfizer must adapt to its competitors to reach more people. The final challenge that Pfizer faces is finding a fair and equal balance when distributing their vaccine to different countries. Recent accusations have come out about Pfizer, stating that the company has been unfair during negotiation with Latin countries regarding the distribution of the vaccine. Officials from Argentina have come out as well and said Pfizer's negotiators demanded more money than they have for other countries. This has ended up in a 3-month intentional delay. Pfizer's unethical standards for the distribution of their COVID-19 vaccine can cause a variety of challenges to their business. First, the intentional delay of the vaccine could result in people getting sick, as well as increase the chance of death. Pfizer's actions also increase the likelihood of getting into legal trouble. Legal experts have drawn more attention to Pfizer's demands and are considering it an abuse of power. If the Latin countries decide to proceed with legal action, Pfizer may face hefty fines. Going forward, we suggest Pfizer to incorporate a more ethical distribution method. The Pfizer must distribute their vaccines equally across all countries under a certain criterion. The distribution criterion should be based on the following information: population of people per country, percentage of people at risk in a country, and percentage of population over 60 years old. The goal of this distribution method is to have every single country vaccinated equally. Distribution shouldn't be based on how much money a country has. It should be based on protecting more people in each country. Thank you so much for listening.